Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. In this video, I'm going to show you all the different secrets I had retouching my lavender field. It's a bucket shot for me. I've been wanting to do this my whole life as a photographer, and I'm going to show you some little secrets that's going to really make the colors pop and being completely right. Stay until the end because the best retouching is at the end and the best secret is right at the end of this video. So come and join me and let's retouch the lavender fields together. All right, mesdames et messieurs, so I want to show you some of the retouching that I did, some of the things that worked, and I found a really cool trick that I'm going to show at the end, so stay until the end of this video. It's a little thing, but it really makes sure you get the color right. So basically when I got there, honestly, the sky was bad. It was the worst it can be. It was very hazy. It hasn't rained in weeks, maybe months, so there was a lot of dust particle. It was just, almost white. Nothing. So when that happens, what I decided to do is, really stay on toward the sun and just wait for the sun to come down. And honestly, I did not really take any good photos until this specific moment, which is when the sun is half in and a half out. That is something that lasts 2 minutes. And that was kind of like the first shot that I got. And when that happens, I always shoot for the highlights. You can see how dark the photo is. I don't like to do HDR. I like to try to get it right in the camera. And this is what I got. So the truth is how I retouched this is I retouched it using my presets, but I'm going to show you without the presets. Below this video, I'm going to give you some of the best raw files. So you can try this at home if you cannot fly to Provence. I'm also going to give you a little guide of the best location to shoot the lavender in Valençol, which is the main place. So you have the photo and you click here, you have the exact Google map, location. You can even open this PDF on your phone and you're going to get all the location of all the photos that I'm about to retouch. Also, you can get for free my free toolbox and some of the presets for free that I'm going to be using today. So what I usually do on this one is really dark. So I'm going to open up the shadow, but not completely, not like 100% on this one. For many years, I always did like this, plus 100, minus 100. On this one, I'm going to go a little more gentle because I find it gives a more natural result. So I'm going to go maybe plus 57, highlights like this. I'm still going to do a black point by holding the Option key and going to the left. I want to get about 2-3% of my photos of pure blacks. And then I'm going to go with the white here. So if you hold on the Option key on a Mac or the Alt key on Windows and you move to the right, you will see these are pixels which are at 100% white. Okay, you don't want anything white because if I would print something like this, it would just be basically paper. Okay, and black, I just want to be like 1 or 2%. What you see here in purple is 100% black. Okay, good. I'm happy with that. And maybe I'm gonna make the overall photo a bit brighter so we can see a bit what's going on. But it was really dark, And the next thing I'm gonna do is usually when I got my exposures right. You can fine tune it, by the way, with the curve here. I like to use this option here. If you click here on this little guide where you can go into shadows, dark and light and highlight. So you can move this around like, oh, maybe I'm going to open the shadows a bit more here. And it just does different things to the curve and you just move them around and adapt them to how you want it. I'm just moving them around until I have something that I like. And it's going to create a curve. Okay, cool. Maybe not so much the shadows, something like that. Okay, once I have the exposure that I kind of like, I play around with the white balance. I think the white balance is pretty spot on. I think I shot on cloudy, I think cloudy. It's funny, cloudy is supposed to be pretty cool, and it's still pretty warm to me. I think I'm gonna stay on cloudy. Maybe just add back a little bit of blue and a little bit of magenta. Yeah. You just want to make sure the lavender has the right color. So maybe adding a bit of more blue makes it a little more. I kind of like that. But my sky is a bit too bright. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to click and drag here. And I'm going to lower the exposure a little bit and maybe add a bit of magenta just in that sky. Okay. And when it comes for the highlights, let's see what happens if I lower the highlights. Yeah, maybe I lower the highlights a little bit and add a bit of contrast. And I'm pretty happy with that. That's the before, / key, and that's the after. I'm pretty happy with that. That was a Sony shot, by the way. Later on, I took a Fuji shot. I just bought the GFX50R, which is a medium format camera. I really kind of like the colors of it. And so on this one, I'm going to use my preset. So I'm going to use my golden hour preset. You see, I've got like 5 golden hour presets. You're going to get like 1 of the 5 for free if you click the toolbox. But when you get the toolbox, by the way, you're going to get an email. You're going to get this in your email, and I will make you a proposal to get the full set of presets. If you can, it fully supports this channel, me making weekly free videos for you, and you will love it because this is what I use every day. So I go with my golden hour preset. I'm like, oh, I kind of like this one, maybe the light one. And then when I use my preset, and let me close this, I still hold on the option key and check my black. I want about 5% black. And then my whites, okay. And then the highlights. Highlights, yeah, pretty low. And maybe add a bit of contrast. And very fast, I got a really good retouching that I like. Now, all my presets comes with local adjustments. So you click here first, and you can see there is a local adjustment for that. It's basically lowering the sky, and it's lowering this. But another thing that my preset does, which I think is really cool, is adds a bit of a circle here for the sunset. So you can decide, in this case, I'm not even going to use it. I'm going to take it out because I don't think it's needed. The only thing I might do on this one is I just might dodge a little bit the photo to make the lavender a little bit brighter. And also one thing is when you use my preset, you will see, look at the hue and saturation. They have like a spatial curve to it that just makes the color better, which I didn't do on this photo. That's why I love using the preset, because it's like 27 sliders, done for the price of one. I get at least 4 emails per day of people telling me I was very skeptical. I didn't believe in your preset. I use it in some of my photos and I love them. So thank you for that, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to take a brush, and that's something you have to do. It's not part of a preset. Add a bit of exposure. Try to go above 0.5. And I'm just going to, it's very subtle, guys, very subtle. I'm just going to make a bit of highlights on the lavender here. And I really love that shot. It's one of my favorite before, after. I love the Fuji colors. And I'll show you something really cool later on. Okay. Now, this was the next morning. So same thing on this one. I'm going to use one of my presets. I think I'm going to go for the golden hour circle. On this one, I'm going to make sure the shadows are not that high. I think I want to make it more natural. So you can use a preset and change things around. And then I kind of like the white balance. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go 16:9 because I love the sort of movie look. Take the angle, click and drag. And yeah, we had a lovely first morning. Check it out. I really love that shot. This was a Fuji shot, I believe. Great colors. That's the before, that's the after. Then a bit later on that morning, and so that's a mistake not to do. And I really want to show this photo so you don't fall into the same trap. When you shoot and the sun is very high, all your colors get washed out. Check it out. When I use my preset, it's really weird. It's just because there's no more colors because the sun will wash out everything. So the solution is either to shoot when the sun is half in, half out, which is what I showed here, or to wait for the sun to go behind. And then you'll get a less dynamic range and you get nicer colors. This photo was not usable for me, although it kind of looked nice. Even if I shot it with HDR, it's just too much dynamic range. This was shot with a Fuji. So this one was the same night, shot with a Sony, and I'm going to show you a little trick on this one, which is kind of cool. It's a small thing, but I just found out about it recently. It's really great. So golden hour, I'm going to use a golden hour linear dark. I'm just going to boost the highlights, maybe lower a little bit of shadows to make it a bit more natural. And this is the magic trick. You go here, and you'll see on the Fuji photo, on the next photo, it's even more important. And if you have the latest version of Lightroom, you have an option here called camera matching. Camera matching is basically profiles that the different brands create for you. So this is Sony, and you can go here, like you can go neutral, and it's a profile, and it's going to slightly alter the colors. On this one, I'm going to go vivid. Check this out. Neutral, vivid. And vivid is just going to really make it vivid. So much as sometimes that you have to like even lower. I'm going to double click on the vibrance and the saturation, but I just love the color that it gives. It just makes the color really pop. Maybe I'm even going to lower the magenta a little bit, but you will see even more on the next photo. So next photo is this one. This was shot the next morning. That was this famous, little place that I found, and it was really hard to find. That's why you should use my guide if you go there. And I was really happy, except the sunrise was really bad. So same thing, I'm going to use my golden hour preset. So I'm going to show you two photos. One was before the sunrise, which was this one, which I kind of thought was kind of boring. And same thing on this one. Now check this out. If you go here, now the profile for Fuji, because Fuji comes from a background of films. I used to shoot film, and I used to shoot with Velvia 50 and Velvia 100. It's a very colorful film, and check it out. They have Provia and they have Velvia. Check out, look at the difference. Look at the lavender when I go to Velvia. Bam! Such a difference. It just makes the lavender really pop. And I love this. Plus, it just brings me good memory of when I was shooting in film. And then same thing, you can lower the vibrance if you're seeing super vibrant, but the lavender looks great. So same thing here. This one was kind of cool. So when you have a retouching that you like, you can select the next photo and click on synchronize, and it's even going to synchronize the profile that you use. You see, no, it's not. Actually, in this case, you have to go back and reselect the profile. I'm sorry, I just lied. So I'm going to go back to Vivid and close the profile here. And this only works if you have an old version of Lightroom. This is not going to work, by the way. And then I just love the colors that it makes. And there is a circle there, which is included in my profile. I'm going to make this bigger and maybe make it go outside because that's where the sun was. And I think I'm going to go 16:9 on this one. And by the way, guys, if you like this kind of retouching and this kind of videos, please give me a like and leave me a comment. I love listening and I love reading your comments and I love getting your likes. So smash that like button, kill it. It really helps me to make more videos. It's a small thing, but it makes a big difference. And last, my favorite photo. This one was shot with a Fuji. At first, I was like, I didn't really like the photo. And then I did this. I used my golden hour preset, which I love my preset. And then I went here and I went into the camera matching and I went back to Velvia. And I was like, the lavender looks so epic. So much I had to turn down the vibrance and the saturation. I just love the Velvia 50 look. I even lowered the vibrance a little bit. And it was actually, strangely enough, it was my favorite shot of the whole stay. I don't know why. I just really love this shot. I'm just going to move this around where the sun was. And then it's a little bit too grayish. So remember, my presets have gradients. So you can take that gradient and you can add a bit of blue. Because I don't like gray. Blue is fine, orange is fine, but gray is not fine. And then I can adjust here my little thing. So voila, and that's the photo. That was my favorite. If you get a chance one time to go to the lavender field, get my guide, go for it. Download, if you don't get a chance, download the source files, which I'm giving you for free. Download my presets that I'm giving you for free. If you can buy my full set of presets, you are going to be blown away. I have 1,000 people using them all over the world. Thank you very much for watching. And guys, I just prepared a playlist for you of some of my best landscape tutorials. It's starting right now. You can watch it here.